Well, hello, hello, hello. Okay, so it is actually going to be posted. This is going to be posted on January 17th, Western time, Pacific time. Sorry, Pacific time. Because I fell asleep when I got back from the work I was doing earlier. And anyway, so we're just a little bit later than we should be. Computer, what's the current time?
The time is 1:32 a.m.
So it's 1:32, so I got to get this posted. Okay, so before we get started into what I did today, which I did get quite a bit of stuff done, dusty and all kinds of stuff, I want to talk about three things in history that are notable. Okay, so I hope I remember all this stuff here. Okay, so on this day in history, we'll start with births. So in 1931, on January 17th, 1931, James Earl Jones, everybody knows from Darth Vader, from countless things he's done, but especially the Darth Vader. He's also very well known for having read the Bible, an audio version of the Bible, and it's amazing. He's also been the voice of CNN. This is CNN. He's been the voice of that organization for many, many decades. I think at least three at this point, two or three. But he's most well known probably for being Darth Vader. But he's a very talented actor. He's done a bunch of different stuff besides Darth Vader. That's just what they attached him to because if you don't know the story, and I don't really know the story that well, the limited thing I know about the Star Wars story is that there was another actor playing the role of Darth Vader, but I guess they didn't like his voice. His name was David something, as I recall. Dennis or David or something. But they didn't like his voice. And so, of course, they replaced it with James Earl Jones, which, for the actor, that was probably very insulting because he felt very insulted. But, they did what they thought was right for their project, and James Earl Jones was the guy, and there he is. There's Bear, and there's Lion. Hello, Bear. Hello, Bear. There's Bear, and there's Lion. There's Lion right there. There's Lion and Bear. Lion? Bear. Okay, so, they're so sweet. Do my bubba dish. Do my bubba dish. My bubba dish. So James Earl Jones was born on this day, on January 17th, 1931. In 1942, yes, 1942, Muhammad Ali was born. Yes, Muhammad Ali was born on this day in 1940, I believe it was 1942. Make sure I'm not lying to you about that. Computer, when was Muhammad Ali born? Computer, when was Muhammad Ali born?
Muhammad Ali was born on January 17th, 1942.
No, it was 1942. Okay, am I right? Okay, so he died on. Okay, so that math is correct. Okay, I was trying to make sure the math was right in my head. So he was born on January 17th, 1942. And of course, everybody knows who Muhammad Ali is if they have a television. And even if they have a newspaper, if they ever read a newspaper, what's a newspaper? From back in the day, because he was, float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. Ain't nobody prettier than me. One of probably the most recognizable boxer in history. And as I recall, he developed Parkinson's later in his life. But very well, probably the champ. He was also known as the champ, and he was just, had endless numbers of well-known fights. A number of them with George Foreman. Oh gosh, I'm not as big of a boxing fan, so I can't remember all the ones he had. But I mean, I think he fought Sonny Liston and some of those guys. But very well-known boxer. To any real sports fan, big sports fans especially, but even just sort of general sports fans or just general knowledge people know who Muhammad Ali is. So born on January 17th, 1942, unfortunately he passed away from complications from his health on June 3rd, 2016. So he didn't see what's happened in the last 6 years of life. So he knew what he knew at the time he passed away, and if he be with the angels, then he's watching us and going, "What is wrong with you people?" Anyways, so or what? Um, okay, so the next thing, the little this day in history is on this day, actually in 2008. From the sad side of it, Bobby Fischer, who was the youngest grandmaster in chess history, passed away. I believe he was 64. I believe it was 64. Yes, he was 64. He didn't quite make it to 65. So he was born on March 9th, 1943. And in 1958, he became the youngest grandmaster of chess in history. And to the best of my knowledge, he still holds that title as youngest grandmaster in history for chess. Um, he passed away with complications from kidney failure, as I believe it, when it was on January 17th, 2008, like I said, just before he was, less than 2 months before his 65th birthday. So he was still relatively young when he passed away. By the standards of what we can, our lifespan should be. Sorry, I'm having a little prosthetic there. Anyways, so those are three notes in history that I thought were kind of interesting that I was looking up and I thought I would share with you. So now on to the hunt. No, that's what Patty Mayo says. So on to the goals for today, or what I accomplished on the 17th. Okay, so at about 11 o'clock this morning, I went over to my storage unit and began trying to get an idea of where everything was at over there. I did not realize how much of a cluster fart that place was. How much stuff was packed in there, and just how bad it was, how many problems there were with getting stuff organized over there. I kept pulling stuff out, looking through stuff, yada, yada, yada. And ultimately, I did find the things that I, wanted to find, and started the process of getting things organized. But a lot of it was moving stuff out, and I had to get to. So what I needed to get to were these crates that turned out to be in the very back right corner of the whole thing. So I actually spent a lot of time taking everything out, and then trying to wrap up these paper rolls that I have that were for a standing backdrop set. And I was trying to wrap those up. And those were very time consuming to wrap up because the paper was torn and it was damaged and it was tearing it up. And if I had my backpack in here, I could show you, because I didn't have a garbage can there and there's no dumpster on site where my storage is at. So I literally jammed all this trash in my backpack, with plans of taking it to the dumpster when I got back, but didn't happen. Anyways, I'll take it in the morning. But anyways, so I pulled stuff out, and then I started to take all the things that are already marked, like that I already have. Sorry. Take all the things that I already have crated, like in plastic bins. I started to take those and put those towards the back, because I don't need to pack those things. Now I'm going to get back into them and organize them and make sure they're ready for the move. But right now, I need to get to the front. I need to get the things that are, I need to get to the things that are unboxed, that are boxed, or boxed in paper boxes, or not boxed, right? So, sorry, my train of thought was spilling off there for a second. So I need to get all the things that are in cardboard boxes into crates. So had all these crates in the back. They're actually these plastic drawers from Sterilite, if you've ever heard of those. They're like 3-tier plastic drawers. So I have those in the back. So I proceeded to go get all those in the back and begin to pull them forward to the front. and then put all the stuff that's already crated in plastic totes, put that towards the back corner, and then bring forward the plastic bins that are empty, as well as the boxes that I have that need to be transferred over to the crates, because I'm trying to get rid of paper boxes and just use plastic crates, and then shrink wrap it or whatever else I'm going to do with it to keep it stored and not have it in these boxes. So that's the stuff that I worked on today to try and get organized. And then I do have exercise equipment in there, and a measured washer and dryer that I have in there to determine whether or not we could use that at the new place, which it looks like we could. The question is will they take out the one that usually is in the unit? So we have to figure out if they will take it out. What my brother and my mother said, who have a space at this community, said is that they told them they could move it out, but that they had to store it in the garage because it's attached to the unit. Well, if that's the case, I don't know that that's worth it, because then we're just taking up more storage with a washer dryer, and I really don't want to get into all that. So I would rather just use theirs and then donate mine to someone if they want it, and then go from there. So, let's see. That was a big thing. I was there from about 11 a.m. and I got back here right around, I finished up over there around 5:30, and then headed back here and then zonked out. So I did get a bunch of things done over there at the storage unit. I would say that I specifically got done a lot on the right side of the storage unit. I did do a few things with the left side, but mostly the right side. So things are progressing in the right direction there. That's good, and that's what we need. So I'm not going to go back to the storage unit probably this week. I'm going to focus on here at home, because now I know what I have to get, packed up and everything like that. And then I'll go back over there, later on this next week, and I will, later this next week, and I'll get more, boxes, or I'll get more plastic bins that I need if I have any extras to bring over here. I actually, and this is really rambling and kind of sporadic. My brain is just not firing as quickly. But I did actually take the time while I was there to take 10 of the plastic drawers and kind of stack them together. And then I shrink wrapped it with some of the lids on top of it. And then I went and I got some of the little the little levels, the little frame parts for it, 10 of the frame parts, and I shrink wrap those so that I can actually bring them back and use them to pack stuff here. So I probably need to go back over there and grab that stuff so I can bring that back over here tomorrow so I can use it, because really the goal is to pack the biggest stuff in the bins and then use the drawers for smaller items, clothing, paperwork, anything that I can put in those smaller drawers, DVDs or whatever else the case may be, so that I can keep it all, so that I can use the bins and I don't end up, needing to go get boxes or more bins, because I have plenty of bins, I think, for everything now. Now that I'm looking at everything, I think I have plenty of bins. I think I need to go get the ones out of there tomorrow. I need to make that as a mission tomorrow. Go get the ones out of there that I packed, bring them over here, and then start packing with those drawers for my stuff. Now Marie still has some stuff she needs to get. She needs more bins. I've got to go look on Target tonight to see if I can find that more bins for her, because basically she's out of bins. She has a bunch of boxes that are still in there. Like I said, about a dozen that need to be transferred over. So I need to see if I can help her find some bins. And then, what else? Oh yeah, one small thing that happened this evening, which I'm glad that I separated myself from it, because I could be frustrated with things like this. And it's a small thing, and probably, something I shouldn't get too caught up on, but I still do get little moments of getting irritation when it is. Um, so tonight, these ladies who Marie knows, and I know them too, but I'm not really interested in associating with them too much because of because every time we've tried to interact with them, they don't, when we invite them to things, they don't come. When we, you know, ask them, when we try to include them in things and be friends with them, they just don't participate. But then they kind of come when they want to come. And that's not really, in my mind, that's not real friendship. That's kind of, getting attention when you want to get attention for stuff. And so I'm not really interested in that. But they came by tonight, and at one point, my roommate said to them, she said, when they were talking about the move, and my roommate said, life's one of the things is that if we're going to move again, we all have to get something out of it. Well, Amadeus and Simba are my dogs. They're my service animals, and they've been with me for the better part of 9 years. Well, actually, yeah, more than 9 years now. So because I got Simba in December of 13, and Amadeus in January of 14, right around this time. So basically, I've had them both for 9 years at this point. And it was a little irritating to me, as though it's like, well, she had to make the decision that we were all going to get something out of it. Like we were all going to, that the dogs had to get something out of it too. As though like she thought about them, but I don't necessarily think about them, which is completely untrue because I don't know what it is. It just irritates me when people put on the perspective that they do more than they do. I guess I don't like it because it's almost a false sense. It's a false claim of accountability. And I don't really agree with that. I think you need to be, have integrity about what you've actually contributed to something, and then complimentary of people who've contributed something else. Not because the person wants to be complimented for what they've done, but they definitely want to be acknowledged for what they've done. And when you don't acknowledge that and instead try to say, well, they helped me versus, well, they packed some of my stuff for me because, they wanted to make sure it got done and they're really motivated and all that stuff. They were motivated and helpful and knew how to pack my stuff. And I'm not really good at packing and they were kind enough to do it for me. Then it's one thing. But when you sort of say, well, they helped me, it's as though you participated in the process and you didn't. So it's almost a false accountability for what you needed to do. Anyways, I digress. That entertained me a little bit this morning or this evening. But anyways, slept, am awake now. Definitely gonna go get those totes over there and bring those over here. Need to get that done today and then keep packing. I need to go look on Target.com right after I finish here to see if I can find any more of those totes and let her know if there's any more totes you can buy online and get free delivery, because we don't actively have like a normal support system of people who see that can drive. So we either use Uber or we use Uber or this thing called paratransit called Metro Access. But Metro Access is not, you're kind of at the whims of the schedule. So you get a ride somewhere and usually get the time you want to get picked up, but you're not guaranteed to get there within the normal flow of traffic time because they may have to pick up 1, 2, 3, how many other people other people that they have on their schedule, because it's a shared ride service. So anyways, that's it for today. Hope you guys had a great day, a productive day. Didn't drink any water today. I drank 2 Powerades and half a bottle of water. Yeah, that's not good. 17th, mission accomplished, day 17 here, though. So hey, I'll see you soon. I hope you're having a great day. Thanks for checking this out if you had a chance to. Um, um, don't talk to anybody stranger than me. And God bless. Be well. Get good things done.